So, as you know, we laid out 3 bullet points for the Fairlawn Special Education Referendum. 3 areas that we felt were very important for us to talk about. As you hear Dr. Balestis and the rest of administration and everybody else speak about for the last couple of months, is equality and consistency amongst the district. No matter where you live, no matter what side of the tracks you live on, no matter if you're in Lindcrest, Warren Point, Westmoreland, Forest, Edison, wherever it is, we want to make sure that everybody has the same offerings, special education wise. General education wise as well as special education. We've been working on the schedule diligently to make sure that it's consistent scheduling district wide. And that's a goal of ours. So you see beginning 5th grade, when our students come up to the middle school, as much as this is a referendum fair, and we're going to talk about the middle school 5 through 8, I'm also going to talk about the special ed programs and how we want consistency. So 5th grade, when the kids come up, you're going to see inclusion and resource in the 5th grade, and you're going to see at TJ and Memorial. It will not just be inclusion and resource, it'll be inclusion, resource, LLD, and MD/autistic program in both buildings. We want to make sure that no matter what school you're in, you're going to get the same exact program. But what we're doing this year, instead of waiting for the referendum construction to be done, we're starting in 1st grade, 6th grade, and 9th grade. There's going to be inclusion and resource offered in 1st grade, 6th grade, and 9th grade in every school in the district. So we're starting in a 3 to 4 year phase-in. So the first year will be 1st, 6th, and 9th. Next year will be 1st and 2nd, 6th and 7th, 9th and 10th, and in 3 to 4 years, the whole district will have consistency amongst all the programs. We'd love to do it all at one shot, but we don't have the staffing to do it. So we're starting a little at a time. You may even see it sporadically in another grade here or there, just because of the staffing, and it may work with a bubble of students that are there. But for the most part, we're trying to be systematic about how we roll it out. But when the students get into 5th grade, it'll already be several years in. The reasons why we changed our names, right now we have Stepping Stones, Family Model, Bridges, Flex, whatever you want to call it, depending on what school you're in. We're all over the place with our programming. We have unbelievable special ed programs here, great programs that people move into district for. Now we just kind of need to tighten it up, streamline it. And the reasons why we named it Inclusion, Resource, LLD, MD, Autistic, is because this is what lines up with programming. This is what lines up with code, New Jersey Administrative Code 6A. This is what lines up with special ed law. So if you have a daughter or a son who is in an LLD program, and they move to Cape May, they're gonna look at the IEP and say, oh, LLD, I know what that means. This is what the code and law says an LLD program is. You move to Wisconsin, I know what LLD is, this makes sense. You move to another state and you have a family model IEP, they say, I don't know what family model means. That's just a Fairlawn thing. It's nice. It's got a nice little ring to it. So you may still hear us call it Bridges program, but when you look at an IEP, it's not going to say Bridges because it's not going to make sense to anybody else or that picks up the IEP. So we're looking to streamline everything and make it more cohesive and consistent in what we offer. The other thing is, TJ Memorial should offer the same programs. We don't want to see that we go into one building and there's 7 special ed programs, and you go to another building and there's 3 or 4 special ed programs. And there's not a reason for why there's 7 or 4, it's just the way we've been doing it for a long time. So we're trying to streamline our programs a little bit in both buildings. Any questions on this?
So our family model, let's say now, at TJ, that's really an LLD program?
Yes.
Correct. So,
Correct?
Yes, correct.
so that LLD, when it moves on, will be appropriately at both schools. There will be no difference.
There should, yeah, absolutely.
And right now, some of it's called LBLD.
Well, the B was for base, language base,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
we're learning that it's gonna be LLD, and it's not gonna be family model, it's going to be LLD. So it's doesn't, when people ask questions, I wanna make sure that
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
abiding by.
Little by little, we've been rolling this out to everybody, and we met with the teams and we met with the principals, so everybody knows, so we felt comfortable tonight saying this is where the direction we're going in. We're trying to do it a little at a time, because we don't want to overwhelm everybody. This is what we're doing. We're still pretty much keeping everything we have, but kind of renaming it and just,
It's not as confusing.
keeping it as consistent. Yeah, that's what I was confused.
No.
I've been doing this for a couple days, and I come in, I'm like, I don't even understand what this means. Oh, it's LLD.
I know.
And so we wanna just make it clear, because we say, somebody walks in and has no idea, and it can be very overwhelming, all the information. We want it to be as clear as possible for them,
So
no
what
matter
would
what
it-
school they go to.
What would a flex program be?
So Flex is not on here, and the reason why Flex is not on here, we're still gonna offer Flex, but we don't know if we're gonna have enough students to offer Flex in every school. So when I'm talking about the consistency of programs, Flex,
Okay.
yeah, so if I have
Oh, I see. Baby
3 Flex kids at one school, may not have enough to run at another school, so we're gonna look at it. We're still gonna offer Flex to support our students with behavioral needs, but we may not offer it in every school.
Right.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
So, again, introducing, all different types of classes into all elementary schools, like Lincrest, for example, has none, no special ed classes. When the referendum passes,
You have no self-contained classes.
so, but
resource,
second
yeah.
grade would realistically be the first fifth grade to
Mhm.
move to. So, my question is, those second graders in Lincrest who haven't been exposed to this type of environment, when will it be rolled out? Because then there'll be third graders next year. So
So-
really, they would only be their third, fourth.
So, I may have said it to you, or I may have said it to the group before, but I think it was you, because it was only a couple minutes ago, I'm not officially losing my mind that much. We very well, so as much as I'm saying we're rolling out inclusion at first, sixth, and ninth, we're also looking at bubbles of students, and we may offer inclusion at like third grade at Lincrest, or
Okay.
fourth grade at Radburn next year. Because if there's a group of students, and we're like, we have an extra section of a teacher here, we're going to, but our goal is that we do it at least, our ideal goal right now is that we do it at one grade level at elementary, one at middle, one at high. So there's a chance that they may be exposed to that program sooner rather than later.
Just so those children are exposed to it prior to,
Mhm.
the year they're heading into now middle
Absolutely.
school. That's a big
Right.
change for
Right, yeah, and there's still resource programming at Lincrest.
Yes.
There's pull-out resource program, but in terms of a self-contained program, not yet, not to say that couldn't happen at some point in time.
Yeah.
But yes, as Mr. Mercia is saying, as we do more inclusive models where the visibility is higher than, let's say, a student coming out
Yep.
in terms of
Yes.
teaching and instruction,
Mhm.
that will start to increase as time goes on.
Because I think that would be a disadvantage to a child that's never been exposed to, and
Yes.
then here they're going into a situation where now they are going to be exposed. I think that they should be prepared for that.
Yes, good question. Mental health. So the mental health initiative that we're doing in the district, you hear us talk about Care Plus at the elementary level. At the middle school level, we have Effective School Solutions, a little bit different model. So how it works is, first we identify the students that are at risk, that we feel are at risk, and that comes from either the parents, the administrators, the teachers, whoever it may be, may say, listen, there's a child who I think could really benefit from mental health services. That child, they'll reach out to us, we'll give them the referral form, they'll fill out the referral form. The referral form will be very detailed about what the concerns may be. They'll give it to Jonathan, Camille, and myself, we review it, we look at it, and we say, yes, this is the child that we see could probably benefit from it. There's some days I just fill out a form about a student, something may come across my desk, and I'm like, we need to get this child help. So we'll take that form, if we feel that they meet the criteria, then we reach back out to the building, they'll contact you. The next step would be family consent, because if you say, no, we want no part of it, we can't move forward. We'd like to work with you and get your consent, talk about the program, tell you what it can offer. From there, if your child is eligible, you go through the assessment process, they would receive individual counseling, group counseling, and family counseling. And they'll do family counseling during the school day, after school, whatever works for your schedule, and every couple of weeks, they'll do family counseling with all the families that are part of it. So it gives you a support system, so that a lot of the families can network with each other and talk about it, and it's really nice. Another thing they do is they deal with school anxiety students, and the school anxiety students sometimes have a very difficult time coming to school. They'll go out to the house and work with the families in the home to try to get those students back into the building. Because a lot of times they fall into the rut where they're home, and they never want to leave the house ever.
Mhm. Now, a lot of times I get calls, because my name's probably in everybody's directory. So-and-so, I think they need help. Usually when I get a message like that, I go to Jonathan, and I'll say to him, check this out, I got a phone call with this name, and that's it.
Yep.
I do not believe in going further than that, it's
Absolutely.
confidential,
No, that's-
it doesn't go.
I
in the
give-
process.
That's good advice, Kath.
Yeah.
And we give everybody the same advice, just call us or email us.
Yeah.
Not even board member, just call and even send them our way. We'd be happy to talk to
Oh,
them.
I always say that.
Yep, it's
Talk to
the, it's the
Nick.
best advice you can give.
I mean, just talk to Nick, or talk to Jonathan if it's middle, talk to Camille if it's
Yeah,
elementary.
absolutely.
I think
Continue.
parents don't have a full understanding of what the program is,
Mhm.
and other than the parent workshops, which I actually just went to the one at Lincrest on Thursday, and I thought it was wonderful.
Okay, that's great.
We all benefited from it.
Mhm.
And not only is it good to reflect on what the topic is with your children, it's a very good
Mhm.
self-reflection
Sure,
Mhm.
of how you impact, like when you take that
scary
self-assessment.
sometimes, right?
Very scary. It's interesting to see how, you are affecting your child. But I think that, even members on my board, I don't think they understand how the program on the school level works.
Mhm.
And I don't know if it's because it's so not visible, because that's the way it's meant to be, more
Mhm.
confidential, not spoken about so
I
much.
think,
But I think that it would be nice for parents to understand that this does exist, because I don't think parents know to
Yeah.
call anybody.
I think it two reasons. One, it's new, it's
Mhm.
very new.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, by the time we rolled this out, I started in District July 1. By the time we rolled this out, it was middle of October, that way the first time they stepped foot in the district. It was, it's March, whatever, 5th by now, so it's still very new. Watch next year. People are gonna be like, I want Care Plus, I want effective school solutions. I did this in my previous district, in 7 years of doing it, people were like beating down the doors. Everybody knew about it. First year was still very new, year 2 was so different. So one, that's the reason. The second thing is what you said. It's supposed to be very private, confidential, so it's like, we don't even put like nameplates outside their door sometimes, because we want kids to feel comfortable and not have the stigma of going to see their counselor and talk to them about their feelings.
But even like the parent workshops, like I missed the first couple, because again, it came at home on a flyer, and then that was it. And the only reason why I really knew about the Lincrest one is because Mrs. D sent it specifically to all the parents, and I got a special invitation to go to it.
Right.
So I think, sometimes out of sight, out of mind, if they're not coming out, like that should be a school messenger
Yeah.
thing, I think,
Yeah.
to elementary
idea.
school, if there's a
Good.
parent workshop, so.
How are we doing that? 2 minutes?
2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Talk fast.
So as you can see, we do parent workshops,
Mhm.
and professional development for our staff as well. The last slide is transition. We're gonna do everything possible. I am a very big believer in transition. For our 4th grade students going up to 5th grade, we wanna start setting up tours of the middle school in the spring, but we wanna do it for our 5th graders now going up to 6th grade. It's not something we have to wait for. This is something we should be doing all the time, not just because we're doing the referendum. But because we're doing the referendum, we're gonna talk about that here. So 4th grade spring, 5th grade fall, we're gonna start doing tours. In addition, tours during the summer. We're here during the summer, so we wanna help. So I cannot tell you how many times parents call up, Nick, I just wanna walk the hallways. I just wanna see where the cafeteria is. I just wanna open my locker and see how that feels, playing with the lock. Those little things go so far for a student that may have anxiety or any disability. So we offer that to anybody that wants it. So please, let anybody know, reach out to any of us and let them know if they want a tour of any of the schools during the summer, just to look at their schedule. We're here to do that because that's important so that they feel comfortable in the fall. The other thing is we're gonna ask our 5th grade case managers to go to 4th grade IEP meetings when it's appropriate. Every child, every family does not need it, may not be appropriate, but anybody that does want it, we would like to introduce them to their case manager so they can start planning that transition process for them. This is important from early intervention to preschool, preschool to kindergarten, kindergarten or elementary to middle, and middle to high, and then high to post-secondary. Transition, people just think transition, it's about when you leave high school. It's not. It's not. There's so many areas of transition that we can focus in and do a better job on. So that's a goal of ours, so that you feel
It is now
comfortable with
7:50,
transition.
and it's time for session 2 to end. Session 2 is now ending. have 5 minutes to choose session 3 and
Questions?
move on to session 3.
Nothing?
Session 3 begins
No,
November
good.
15th.
Good?
Thank you.
Helpful?
Mhm.
Yeah. Thank you for listening.
I think all those things you just